So now that spring's coming up and everybody's getting ready to list their homes, what are some things that you can do to improve and get a better price for your home? These are things that you can do yourself. I always recommend hiring a realtor, not because I am a realtor, but because you have to take into consideration why a real estate expert would spend so much money on education, extra courses, not just the bare minimum when it comes to what it takes to get licensed in courses and activities, but if they pay out of pocket to take additional courses to serve their clients better. So some of the things that you can do, painting is bang for buck, is absolutely the best upgrade that you can do to your home. In comparison to other renovations, it doesn't cost very much. It's very cheap to do, and especially if you do it yourself, and you can change the entire appearance of the house inside just by painting the walls. Some other things, you can do painting the walls, the trim, light fixtures. If the house is a little bit outdated, light fixtures can make a huge improvement, as opposed to old outdated light fixtures. These are something that people look for. Another thing that I recommend doing if your house is older is switching out wall plates. This isn't very expensive to do either, especially if you have somebody who can switch over a whole pile of wall plates for you at a reasonable price. Go and buy the bigger switches, not the thin ones that we used to have back in the 80s and 90s, but the wider switches. People for some reason seem to like those more. I recommend putting on white switches regardless of wall color, but your trim will typically match your light switch anyways. Make sure everything is clean. Clean walls, bathrooms, kitchen. One of the most important rooms in the house in today is kitchens. These are where people seem to gather, as opposed to years ago where we gathered in, dining rooms or family rooms, and everybody used to sit there and talk. Now it's the kitchens. People are more into entertaining. If they do have company over, kitchens seem to be the main spot where everybody kind of hangs out and eats and discusses everything. So kitchen upgrades, they can be very expensive, but this is pretty much considered the main room in the house nowadays. So another thing that you might want to do is curb appeal is very important. I feel a lot of people don't take curb appeal seriously. Your gardens, if you're selling in the springtime, make sure your gardens are freshened up. All the old dead plants are taken out, and you have new plants put in there, even if they're not expensive plants. Like, you don't have to go out and buy all new trees and things for the front of your house, but make sure that everything is clean and there's no debris in the gardens. This reminds me, I went to show a house years ago, and it was still winter time. It was cold out, so the listing agent actually went to the dollar store. It was pretty funny. He went to the dollar store and he bought plastic flowers, with metal and plastic stems, and he stuck those into the garden in winter time. So I got a kick out of that. It was pretty funny. But gardens, lawns are very important to make sure they're not full of leaves and garbage and debris. Your gardens out front of your home are freshened up, so the soil's tilled and plants are looking lively, or at least things are in order. Don't have all kinds of junk out front of your house. If you've got bad oil stains in the driveway or something like this, you can coat your driveway, recoat your driveway. Now, when it comes to renovations, these are just a few small things, but they will greatly help. Cleanliness is very important, same as odors. A lot of people will complain of pet odors or cooking odors, things like this. Make sure everything is super clean. You don't have to renovate your entire kitchen or your entire house. In fact, I've been to homes that have sold or were just purchased, and the new owners were in there even before closing. It was agreed to that they could go in before closing and have companies come in, and these were multi-million-dollar homes, and the new owners went in there and had a company come in with them to discuss redoing all the custom cabinetry that was in there. They wanted to put all new custom cabinets in there. So, you can spend tens of thousands of dollars on upgrades, and I've seen this myself. And the new owners won't like the colors that you chose, or the style of the cabinetry, the style of the flooring, the colors of the walls, all kinds of things. Mind you, these things can be changed, but they're expensive to do. So don't get carried away with upgrades. Upgrades don't need to cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I highly recommend painting if your colors are outdated. Cleanliness and curb appeal, those are probably the most important things that you need to take into account when you're selling your home. And these are all things that you can do yourself with minimal cost, and the benefits, the cost versus benefits is really worth it. So just make sure that everything is in order, everything is organized, neat, tidy, clean, and list your home.